world is ruling by Shao Kahn. 80% out of 100 is cons. Really don't care about time. Bitter like lime, making sure victory mines. Got the fury like Liu Kang, calling demands like the cues on your blade. Hold Johnny back so he stay in the cage. Raiding his mad, causing thunder and rain. Power and rage, gotta make sure I'm staying with the mission. Fighting for the good, always cause ambition. Health bar full.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? It's your girl Taj, aka Coco Bone, coming at you guys with not a reaction, but another review video. And of course, this is Baddies South episode 3, okay, season 1. So I don't got too much more else to say. I just want to go ahead and get into this review. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? So in the first scene, we're picking off from the scene that we left off with, which was Persuasia versus Anne. Anne has started this fight with her lame ass, and she had decided that she wanted to be extra and hop on top of Persuasia while she was on the couch, which caused the couch to lean back and fall as these two are on the floor pulling off each other's Brazilian, Peruvian, or Malaysian wigs, okay? And that is what is going on right now. You got Persuasia over here looking like a beautiful ass alien with that nut ass skin cap on the top of her head. And then you got Anne over here. Her wig looked dismangled. Like, both of these bitches just look crazy. As these two are trying to be pulled apart by security and being simmered down, Anne decides to take a second swing at Persuasia. It looked like it landed. And then Persuasia proceeded to grab her by her hair, but still no hits. I don't understand why for this season or this show, Persuasia is just refusing to fight. Even with Sarah, when Sarah was fighting Natalie Nunn, like, I don't understand how Sarah is pretending like she don't have hands when on her season, for round 1, she did put a knot on Gia's head. Like, she whooped Gia's ass. Like, for anyone that was a Bad Girls Club fan like myself, I'm pretty sure that y'all know what I'm talking about. So it's very odd how Persuasia is just not fighting for this show. It's just weird. Like, it couldn't be me. I don't give a fuck if I'm 31. Well, I actually am 31, but I wouldn't give a fuck if I was 41, 51, 61. You put your hands on me and I'm able to swing back, honey, I'm swinging. I'm coming. What the fuck you talking about? Like, what? So in the midst of this scene, Anne had decided to walk upstairs. That's when Krayshawn had came out of nowhere and was like, yo, Persuasia, like, what's up? You fighting my roommate? I'ma beat the shit out of you. Again, fuck is you talking about? Like, and that's when you see Rollie Polly come on the screen and she's talking about Persuasion turning into a Power Ranger. Not a Power Ranger. I ain't seen Power Rangers in a long ass time, but that shit was funny as hell, yo. Now security is trying to calm down Rock because Rock wasn't done whooping Persuasion's ass. And that's what she said, according to her, in her confessional. Like, she was not done with Persuasion. She was ready to whoop her ass for the 3rd time, honey. She just got through seeing her roommate fight Persuasia, like, so she's just all the way around pissed. She's still pissed about the dirty comment. Now she's pissed because Persuasia had got attacked by her roommate. So I guess she's riding for her roommate. Like, oh my God, it's just really getting ridiculous. Then you got Rollie coming on the confessional screen talking about so Persuasion turning into a fucking Power Ranger. Like, what the hell is going on? Not a Power Ranger. Like, yo, Rollie is the big, like, I can't with Rollie, yo. In the midst of this scene, you see Anne going to the bathroom to go fix her wig and to calm down while she's still talking her shit on her raging shit. Then you see Krayshawn Rock in the kitchen. Rollie and producers is trying to calm her down because she's ready to fight Persuasia. And Persuasia had walked outside on the balcony, I guess in the backyard. She's trying to go and simmer down, but she's really considering leaving because she, in her words, is not going to be the carry-on from Bad Boys LA in the group and just consistently keep getting attacked. Like, honestly, I can definitely understand where she's coming from because ain't no way in hell producers about to set my black ass up to be the one to keep getting fucking attacked. Like, I think that's kind of lame that producers be like having one set person in the group to like get constantly attacked on. Like, cause you gotta remember, them producers, they try to come off as,
oh, we're innocent, we just want peace between the cast members.
No, they don't. They want them to fight because it boosts the ratings. And the producers behind the scenes be playing like puppet master. Some of them will tell one of the cast members something about the other cast member, so it caused that cast member to go back and create drama, and that's how the ratings get boosted. This has been exposed time and time again. So if I was Persuasion, I probably would want to leave. Even though she started it with Krishan Rock, I still would probably want to leave if I'm consistently getting attacked. Now, the time that she fought Krishan Rock, she actually deserved those 2 ass whoopings. But this new beef with her and Ann is just looking for some camera time, and she's just being a fucking pest, in my opinion, at this point. Rollie felt that Krishan Rock was whack for trying to hop into a fight that has nothing to do with her. And I understand where Rollie is coming from, but on the flip side, you know, I still probably would have been in my feelings too, because once you just had a fight with somebody, it's kind of hard to like not want to fight them again as soon as you see them. Like, I don't know, that's how I feel about it. Now Ann is coming back down the stairs with this raggedy do-rag on her head, and there's a producer still trying to calm down Krishan. Krishan is talking about how y'all gonna say to keep it positive, but y'all over here, the same shit I just said before, you know, over here basically playing puppet master. And then one of the producers is like, hey, listen, Krishan, we prayed today. What did we talk about? You feel what I'm saying? So she was trying to calm down Krishan as she's letting her know, look, we just prayed, bitch. Just woosah, bring it on down, and you know, let's just move on. In the next scene, that's when you see Ann and Krishan in the kitchen, you know, basically recapping about the fight between Ann and Persuasion, and Krishan is just trying to figure out what the fuck happened. In the next scene, that's when you see Persuasion and Natalie Nunn and some producers outside talking with her, and Persuasion is just expressing how she's ready to leave because it's like someone's not going to stay at a house just to consistently keep getting attacked. Like, it's fucking weird. You feel what I'm saying? I understand she did start it with Krishan, but damn, to just keep getting attacked because she had that incident with Krishan, like, come on, like, really? You feel me? Like, I would have been ready to fucking go too. Plus, she made a statement saying that she didn't want to be a pain in the producer's ass by telling them, oh, well, I didn't really want to bother everyone and be a pain by y'all reimbursing me for my $900 wig. No, boo-boo. They need to reimburse you. You need to be a pain in their ass. See, black women, we gotta stop accepting bare minimum, honey. Because guess what? Any Spanish woman, Asian woman, white woman, they be asking for these motherfuckers to rebuy their shit. So you need to tell them to rebuy your shit. The fuck? The only way they wouldn't be responsible for Persuasion's wig is if she signed the contract and in the contract it said, we are not liable for any of your belongings. That's the only way that they won't reimburse her or anyone else of any color. But if they did not put that in the contract, oh, they most certainly need to pay her back for her $900 wig. That's close to a stack. Me personally, the most I ever spent on weave is like $200. I'm not spending no motherfucking rent money on no damn hair. That's just me personally. I wouldn't even give a fuck if I had it. If I had it, it's like, why? Like, I could take the rest of that $700 and use it for something else. But, you know, to each his own. She paid $900 for her wig, so Zeus is gonna have to cut her a check, honey. So in the next scene, that's when you see Ann, Rollie, Slim, and Krishan all outside smoking a Dutch, recapping about what happened in the house between Ann and Persuasion. Also, besides that, that's when Rollie decides to make a statement towards all the girls in that group outside, which was, if you start fighting near Rollie and you accidentally hit Rollie, Rollie is going to whoop your ass. And Krishan immediately took offense because she's like, yo, why is the conversation getting violent? Like, where the fuck is that coming from? But meanwhile, Rollie in her confession is like, listen, I don't give a fuck about Krishan being mad. I meant what I said. Any of you bitches, including Krishan, touch me, it's going the fuck down, okay? And honestly, I don't blame Rollie because, you know, when bitches get to fighting, or not even bitches, just anybody, men or women, when people get to fighting, they obviously is worried about trying to get the best of their enemy, and they do not care about who they hit and how they hit them. They just trying to fuck that other person up. So I understand where Rollie is coming from with that. In the next scene, that's when you see all the girls leaving out the house, getting ready to get on the bus. But in the midst of these girls trying to get on the bus, that's when you see a new fight. And who's that new fight? Including, ding, 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 Bree versus Ann. And honestly, I have to agree with Natalie Nunn for once. She said in her confessional that nobody won this fight. The grass fucking won. The grass damn sure did won though, because it was like, what the fuck are these bitches doing? Like, Bree, it looked like she got about maybe 2-3 good hits on, but she just started to pull hair. And to me can't really fight like that, to be very honest, y'all. But yo, that fight was so lame. It makes no sense how lame that fight was. However, I am happy that Bree has stood up for herself, and so is the rest of the girls, as after the fight had happened and Ann went to go in the bathroom to calm back down again, that's when Bree got on the bus, and even, you know, Ann's roommate Krayshawn had high-fived Bree for standing up for herself. So, you know, it just goes and show that Ann is just really being a fucking pest. Like, she is just so fucking annoying. After Ann calms down, she decides to walk her pretty brown ass, in her words, back onto the bus, and the girls are finally taking off to go to Charlotte, North Carolina, which I also need to make a trip myself. I don't know if you watching, Shells, but if you is, I miss you. I'm gonna be seeing you soon, cause Charlotte been popping, honey. Charlotte, North Carolina, they've been popping lately, honey. I think it's about time for me to take a trip. It's been a while since I took a damn trip. Okay, period, poo. But anyway, y'all, they out now on the road, on the bus, going towards Charlotte, North Carolina. So in the next scene, that's when you see all the girls turning up on the tour bus. I'm assuming it's a tour bus, but anyway, they're turning up on the tour bus. They're playing an eggplant, or in this case, a banana contest on who can give the best head to the banana. They're even playing Never Have I Ever. That's one of my favorite drinking games. I love that game. But yes, now they're playing that, and they're just basically enjoying themselves and just finally having some girl time without all of the drama. So in the midst of this scene, they're all calling for Ann, or at least all of them except for Bree. All of them except for Bree is calling for Ann. Ann is in the bag being a little Debbie Downer, and she decides that she doesn't want to engage in any fun with the rest of them hoes, because she's gonna wait until Charlotte, North Carolina to talk to them bitches, because obviously she is still in her feelings and mad that her ass got her wig pulled on twice, okay, or 3 times for that matter. So in the next scene, that's when you see Krayshawn and Persuasia having a moment and hopefully keeping things peaceful, which surprisingly they are peaceful. You know, Persuasia is admitting to Krayshawn that she was wrong, she was judgmental, she shouldn't have did her like that, and you know, Krayshawn in the midst of this conversation has started to cry. She's crying because she's frustrated and feels like all of us as baddies in this house and on this tour bus, we should all be going against bitches that's coming at one of us. And Natalie Nunn definitely did agree to that, and I believe all the rest of the girls had agreed to that as well, which, you know, is good to see, like the little sisterhood bond that they're trying to build. Hopefully the sisterhood bond can last, but with this group, they are very unpredictable, so who knows, honey. So in the midst of this scene of Persuasia admitting to everybody that she thought she had cancer, Krayshawn immediately gets fucking pissed. She is so upset that Persuasia is really sitting up here talking about something.
I thought I had skin cancer and that's why I had called you dirty.
And Krayshawn immediately was like, do you know the last bitch that I smacked had skin cancer? And honestly, I don't blame Krayshawn, and I'm not laughing at the cancer because I unfortunately have a family member in my family that's going through cancer. It's very, very serious. And, you know, getting to the show, or back to the show at hand, this is one of the reasons why Krayshawn had got irked. First of all, cancer is a very serious disease. That is something to not, you know, play around with or to use for sympathy rights and stuff like that. So that's number one. Number two, I do agree with Krayshawn, which is, why are you using this whole misdiagnosis of cancer as a reason into why you had a smart ass mouth? Because Krayshawn's point of view was, I don't give a fuck what type of health condition you got, watch your mouth. And I live by that day to day. Like, people always got this thing where they want to have a smart ass mouth, but they can't never take back what they dish out. So I totally understand where Krayshawn was coming from, because at first I did thought that she was being a little heartless, but hearing her confessional, like, I totally get where she's coming from and why she feels it's a fake apology, because it's like, who the fuck uses their health to excuse their behavior. Bitch, you're 32 years old. You're a grown ass woman, which means you should have been raised with common sense by now to watch your mouth. Like, if you don't watch your mouth, there's going to be somebody brave enough out there to smack the fuck out of you, and that was Krayshawn. You had met your match, boo. I'm just saying. In the midst of Krayshawn walking away, that's when Slim decides to jump in and tell Krayshawn that she was wrong for walking off. But Krayshawn looked at it like, look, I understand what she's going through, but I'm going through shit too. Like, she ain't the only one going through shit. And I mean, Slim made a good point, but at the same time, comment down below if you just feel like Slim is doing too much. Slim is acting so fucking macho and hard for no reason at all. She's starting to give me I want to be seen by the camera vibes. Like, it's giving I want camera time. That's what it's giving. In the midst of this scene, that's when you also see Jayla gets up and walk away and walk towards the back, because in her confessional, she feels the same way as Krayshawn. Cancer is a very serious thing. That ain't nothing to joke about. So Persuasion basically needs to relax, because she had basically an irregular pap smear. The people in the office have fucked up, which is why I always curse out these dumbass doctors, because they don't be knowing what the fuck they be doing half the time with their fucking degrees and their little medical certificate. And they gave her an irregular pap smear and made her thought she had cancer, but thankfully Persuasion do not have cancer. But still, don't be trying to use that as no fucking crutch. However, in the moment, Natalie Nunn and Bree decided to have a heart and give Persuasion a hug as she's crying about it. And that's when, you know, you see Krayshawn come back out, you see Slim come back to the front, and that's when Krayshawn had gave Persuasion a box of tissues to help her feel better. So I'm just glad that no fights didn't break out, and you know, they're still able to keep the peace and have some girl fun. In the midst of this scene, that's when you see Krayshawn giving a prayer amongst all the rest of the ladies, and that's when Krayshawn had just had enough. She was over it and she was just ready to party, and all the rest of the ladies was ready to party until they had arrived to the house. In the next scene, that's when you see the ladies finally arrive to the house. The house is beautiful. It's one a little late. Oh my god, like I really need to hit up my friend, because North Carolina is looking like heaven right now, and they got some good ass food. Honey, I need me a vacay. But anyway, y'all, they arrived to the house. The house is KU. And, you know, Persuasion got on some glasses, because in the midst of fighting Ann had tried to gouge her eyeball out. Yikes. That shit had to hurt, honey. So she got on shades because right now her eye is burning. But anyway, Natalie Nunn gives the girls their rooms. The girls went to go find their rooms, and in the next scene, you see Persuasion and Bree with their own basement downstairs. Literally, it looks like a fucking apartment. Like, they have 2 full beds in one room, and then the whole rest of the basement, it got a kitchen, bathroom. It's its own apartment. That shit is hot. So they are lucky enough to have a little space all to themselves, and I think that's good, especially with everything that had took place with Persuasion and Krayshawn and Ann. So in the next scene, that's when you see Krayshawn and Ann in their own room, and they started rehashing about how Persuasion was using the whole irregular pap smear as a crutch to why she was being a bitch to Krayshawn. And then in the confessional, you see Krayshawn like, bitch, I got eczema. You don't see me like,
I'm sorry for hitting you, Persuasion, but my skin itching, bitch, and I really didn't mean to fuck you up, but my motherfucking skin is the reason why I punch you.
And I totally agree with Krayshawn, because that's some real shit. Like, who the fuck uses their health as a reasoning to having a smart ass mouth? You're a grown ass woman, Persuasion. You knew what the fuck you was doing. You thought you could pick on the youngest, and the youngest had whooped your ass. That's what happened, bitch. You got beat up by a young girl. It's okay. It happens. But I bet next time you'll rethink about trying to fuck with a pretty young girl. I bet your ass won't do that shit again. Ann had also agreed with Krayshawn's point, of course, because they're roommates, but I also think that Ann genuinely just really feels like that was whack of Persuasion to use her health issue as a crutch to why she was basically being a bitch. You feel what I'm saying? Like, anyway, these two decide to go freshen up and basically just enjoy the house at this point. In the next scene, that's when you see Bree and Persuasia walking outside because Persuasia is about to go to the hospital because her eye was literally fucking burning. So she definitely had to go get that checked out because, honey, it is not a good feeling having a fucked up eye, especially after some hating ass bitch try to gouge your eye out. Like, that's crazy. So in the next scene, you see Rollie, Ann, and Slim all outside near that cute ass lake. What a Dutch. Damn, that was like a good fucking time. I wish I was there with their ass. But anyway, y'all. So they near the little lake. I'm assuming it looks like they in the backyard, but they near the little lake and whatnot, smoking their Dutch, chilling. And you know, that's when Ann decides to basically come out and talk about Krayshawn to Rollie and Slim about how Krayshawn is feeling about the whole Persuasia incident. And that's when you see Rollie in her confessional, like, why the fuck are you out here telling us about your roommate, about your friend? Like, who the fuck does that? And I ain't gonna lie, Rollie do got a good point. It's like, bitch, that's supposed to be your friend. Whatever you two talk about, that's between A and B. So everybody else gotta see their way to fuck up out of it. Like, what the fuck? Like, and in the midst of this conversation, that's when Ann had wanted Slim and Rollie's opinion on the fight between her and Bree. That's when Slim was like, look, y'all was on some slippery ass grass and I really don't even know who the fuck won. Like, when I tell y'all that fight was fucking whack, that fight was the lamest fight on this fucking show. Like, nobody had no winner. The grass fucking won because both of them bitches had slipped and fell, and they was just like, it just looked like pity pat. You know what I'm saying? With like little kicks. Like, it looked like they was like trying to doggy paddle, but instead of them being in the pool, they was on the ground. So yes, that fight was fucking super whack. I think the whole world, including the cast, can agree on that. In the last scene, that's when you see Rollie and Ann going at it, going back and forth. And Ann is upset because she feels like Rollie is trying to be sneaky by having Bree up in her room with the door closed while Rollie is talking to Bree. Like, Ann, nobody's not worrying about your raggedy ass clothes. She did not go upstairs to start shit with you. She went upstairs to talk to Rollie, for one, and for two, all of y'all are grown ass women. So if Bree wanted to come upstairs with Rollie to Rollie's room and Rollie shuts her door so you can feel comfortable, like, that's all there was to it. Like, again, this is just Ann seeking more camera time, trying to get more of a buzz. She wants everybody to know who the fuck she is. So she's creating these meaningless fights for no fucking reason. Ann is saying in her confessional that she watched Bad Girls Club and she already know how shit can go down, and that's why she had a hissy fit about Bree coming upstairs. But Bree wasn't even worrying about her. Like, Bree was just in the room with Rollie and they was talking their shit. Like, what the fuck, Ann? Like, you are just, oh my god. Like, she is such an attention-seeking whore sometimes. Like, she really is. So in the midst of these two arguing, Rollie is basically telling Ann that she's a grown-ass woman. Don't come at her like that. Ann is basically telling Rollie that it doesn't matter who's grown. She was close to my room. I didn't want her upstairs next to my room, which just still to me don't make no sense. Like, bitch, she wasn't in your room. She was in Rollie's room, but okay, whatever. And then, you know, that's when they made like a funny comment and was like, oh, well, Bree is smart for not going through my stuff while she was up there. And then that's when Rollie was like, no, you're smart. I ain't gonna lie, that was a funny comeback. It's just the way she said it. So in the midst of this last scene, that's when Rollie started to push the chairs out the way. And you can see in her face, she is about livid. She is up to here. She's almost about to hit the roof, y'all. And that's when Ann decides to get her big ass up and stand up against Rollie. And I didn't know how huge Ann is. She is a big bitch. She's really, really tall. I didn't know how tall she was. But anyway, these two are in each other's face going at it like a fucking dog and a cat, honey. Just going at it, honey. Ann decides to get all up in Rollie's face and tells Rollie that she was speaking to everybody because Rollie was like, well, you're not going to talk to me in that manner or in that tone. And, you know, Ann bucked up, got super close up on her in her face. And Rollie just decided to grab her wig and start punching the shit out of Ann. And ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this episode. My last and final thoughts on this episode. I mean, honestly, to just sum it all up, I just feel like Ann was just doing the most. And she got the ass whoopings that she deserved. You know, now, even though with Persuasia, all she did was pull off her hair. And then with Bree, she did get like 2-3 good hits out on her. But still wasn't really effective. That fight was corny as fuck. But the fight with her and Rollie, it looked like Rollie really put the smack of down on Ann, which is about motherfucking time. Because Ann, to me, is a fucking annoying ass gnat at the barbecue. The bitch won't stop buzzing around everybody's ear. And, you know, she's just getting what she deserves at this fucking point. I don't hate the girl. I don't know her to hate her. But on this show, she has really been irking with the stunts that she has been pulling to get more camera time. So that's just my opinion. I hope you guys found this entertaining and funny. And yeah, that's all I gotta say. So make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, show your girl some love, help your girl get to 2,000 subs. Make sure to leave some suggestions down in the comment section down below. And please give me a big thumbs up, for it helps to push my videos further out into the algorithm. I'm out this bitch. Deuces.